It's the kind of headline that makes you do a double take. Prince Harry, the man who created the Invictus Games, suddenly finding himself sidelined from his own passion project? The very initiative that once defined his royal legacy and won hearts worldwide? If someone had told you 5 years ago that Harry would be replaced by Mike Tindall, yes, that Mike Tindall, the laid-back rugby legend married to Princess Anne's daughter, would you have believed it? Probably not. But here we are. And this is no mere reshuffling of roles. It's a moment that speaks volumes about Harry's shifting public image, his controversial decisions, and the monarchy's strategic moves. So, how did we get here? And what does this mean for Harry's future, not just with the Invictus Games, but with his standing on the world stage? Let's break it down. Before we dive into the drama, let's rewind. The Invictus Games weren't just another royal initiative. They were Harry's initiative. Founded in 2014, the Games were designed to honor and empower wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women through sports. Inspired by the Warrior Games in the US, Harry took the idea and ran with it, using his military background to create something that transcended competition. It was about resilience, healing, and unity. For years, he was the face of the Games. Every moment, from tearful athlete victories to emotional speeches, felt like a testament to Harry's dedication. This was his passion, his calling. The Games cemented his image as a modern royal who actually cared, who understood struggle in a way that many of his blue-blooded relatives simply didn't. So, what changed? If the Invictus Games once represented everything admirable about Harry, they now serve as a stark reminder of how quickly things can shift in the court of public opinion. The last few years have been eventful, to say the least. In 2020, Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties, citing a toxic media environment and a desire for financial independence. They moved to the US, signed massive deals with Netflix and Spotify, and rebranded themselves as progressive, independent thought leaders. A bombshell Oprah interview, a controversial memoir, Spare, and public spats with the royal family only fueled the divide between them and the institution Harry once represented. For some, this made Harry even more relatable, a man breaking free from a suffocating monarchy. For others, it felt like he was abandoning his commitments in favor of Hollywood deals and celebrity status. And therein lies the issue. The Invictus Games were never about fame. They were about service. So when reports surfaced that Harry had been replaced as the Games patron by Mike Tindall, it didn't just feel like a professional shift. It felt like a statement. Now, let's talk about the man stepping into Harry's shoes, Mike Tindall. For those unfamiliar, Mike is a former England rugby star, an athlete who knows what it means to push through adversity. He's also married to Zara Tindall, Princess Anne's daughter, making him a member of the extended royal family. But what sets him apart is his everyman appeal. Mike is known for being white heavy checkmark down-to-earth and genuinely likable, white heavy checkmark non-controversial, a rare trait in royal circles. White heavy checkmark well-respected in the sports world. Unlike Harry, Mike has stayed within the royal fold, maintaining good relationships while quietly supporting charitable causes. His appointment as patron signals a desire to keep the Invictus Games focused on what truly matters, the veterans and their stories, not the royal drama surrounding them. Which begs the question, was this move necessary? Harry more celebrity, less service? It's no secret that Harry's public persona has evolved. Once seen as a duty-driven prince, he's now a media figure whose projects are increasingly linked to brand building rather than cause building. Critics argue that his focus on media ventures, Netflix deals, podcasting, and memoirs has overshadowed his philanthropic work. His relocation to the US has distanced him from the very causes he once championed. His ongoing feud with the royal family has made him too controversial to be an effective leader in global initiatives. This isn't to say he no longer cares. But when your public image becomes divisive, it inevitably affects your ability to lead certain efforts. Could the Invictus Games afford to be tied to Harry's increasingly complex reputation? Apparently, Scott Moore, the CEO of the Invictus Games, didn't think so. And that's why we now have Mike Tindall. Losing his patronage of the Invictus Games isn't just a title shift, it's a symbolic shift. It raises bigger questions about Harry's future. Will more of his royal-linked initiatives distance themselves from him? Can he maintain his philanthropic influence while being a polarizing figure? Is he still a service-driven leader, or has his focus shifted too far into the media realm? For Harry, this could be a wake-up call. If he wants to maintain his legacy as a change-maker, he may need to reassess how he balances advocacy with his newfound celebrity. Because, like it or not, influence in the philanthropic world isn't just about passion, it's about credibility. Final thoughts. Is this the end or a new beginning? So, what's next? For the Invictus Games, Mike Tindall's appointment may bring stability and renewed focus. With a leader who carries no media baggage, the Games can continue growing without the distractions of royal drama. For Harry, this is a defining moment. He can either double down on his Hollywood-driven brand, risking further alienation from the causes he once championed, recalibrate and refocus on service, proving that he's still the man who once made the Invictus Games what they are today. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, losing the Invictus Games as his platform isn't just another headline. It's a turning point. Is this a fair move, or is Harry being unfairly pushed aside? Should he focus more on service and less on media? Share your thoughts below. The royal family operates like a well-oiled machine, built on tradition, strategy, and the careful management of public perception. The shift from Prince Harry to Mike Tindall as the face of the Invictus Games isn't just about one event, it's part of a broader realignment within the monarchy. Think about it. In the wake of Harry and Meghan's departure, the royals have tightened their ranks, ensuring that those still within the fold remain the primary faces of key charitable efforts. With King Charles III now at the helm, there's been a clear emphasis on stability, duty, and avoiding unnecessary controversy. Mike Tindall's appointment reinforces the message that the monarchy will continue to support noble causes, but with individuals they can trust to keep the focus on service rather than personal battles. So, some might argue that being replaced as the Invictus Games patron is a blessing in disguise for Harry. After all, his entire post-royal brand has been built on the idea of breaking free from the institution and doing things his way. If he continues down this path, we can expect more media-driven projects, perhaps another book, docuseries, or new platforms to share his message. A shift towards US-based philanthropy, focusing on causes that align with his and Meghan's vision. A deeper divide between him and the UK-based charitable initiatives he once spearheaded. But here's the catch. If Harry leans too heavily into celebrity culture, he risks diminishing his credibility in the humanitarian space. Right now, his brand still carries weight, but will it last if it becomes more Hollywood, less heart? Alternatively, this could serve as a moment of reflection for Harry. Losing his role in the Invictus Games might be a signal that if he wants to remain a respected leader in the nonprofit world, he'll need to make some changes. That could mean reinvesting in veteran and mental health initiatives, possibly launching new independent projects. Moving away from media feuds and refocusing on tangible action. Rebuilding his reputation in the UK, showing that despite the tensions, he's still committed to service. Would this require a more diplomatic approach toward the royal family? Probably. And that might be the biggest challenge. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Could Harry ever return to an official role within the royal family? At this stage, it seems unlikely. The bridges burned by Spare, the Oprah interview, and repeated criticisms of the monarchy aren't easy to rebuild. However, history shows that time heals even the deepest rifts. If Harry ever wanted to return in some capacity, it would require a massive reset, acknowledging past grievances while committing to a less controversial, more constructive approach. King Charles has shown a willingness to keep the door slightly open, but the dynamics between Harry, William, and the rest of the royals remain strained. With major royal events in the future, such as Charles's continued reign and William's eventual ascension, there could be opportunities for Harry to slowly reintegrate, but only if both sides are willing. That said, for now, all signs point to Harry continuing down his independent path. The Invictus Games will go on, and under Mike Tindall's leadership, they may even thrive in ways that were becoming difficult under Harry's increasingly controversial presence. The shift ensures that the Games remain focused on the athletes, the mission, and the cause, not on royal drama. For Harry, This is a crucial moment. Whether he uses it as fuel for a renewed commitment to service or simply as a sign to go even deeper into his media empire, one thing is clear: his standing in the global nonprofit world has taken a hit. But is this the end of his influence? Not necessarily. After all, reinvention is one of Harry's strong suits. The real question is, what will his next move be? Do you think Harry should shift his focus back to philanthropy and service, or is his media-driven path the future? Was the decision to replace him as Invictus Patron justified, or is it a strategic snub by the royal family? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss.